Hi, and welcome to this wrap-up video for the finished pictures for November 2018. I'll dive right in with Fairy Forest Coloring Book by Nashana Webb. I did this lady. And if I don't write down what I've used, I won't remember. So it's a good thing that I take notes. She has some clear glitter acrylic paint on top of her wings. There was not a beautiful how do you call these stuff, swirls and things. I preferred to give her plain wings with my own touch of swirl with this paint on top of the marker, because this is a marker base in her dress and her hat. I think in the first place that this was supposed to be her hair, but it looked so unnatural that I thought it would be better to color it in as a hat, and I think it suits her. I have my lamp with me to try to lit up the glitter details a bit more, but with this picture it's not picking it up so well. Yes, there's a bit of gel pen on her hat and the leaves of the flowers. So you get an idea. So that was her. Then we went fishing with a gnome from the neighborhood by Denise Klett. And this was a very nice picture to work on. I'm glad I've chosen another color for the sky instead of a blue. It's fun to play around with different sky colors. I've done it a few times this month and it was really fun. Of course we have some sparkle and glitter here also. Not going to. So these bubbles are shiny. The ones with the fish in are shiny. And of course the water is shiny too. And here and there is a bit of glitter gel pen visible also. So I've used Inktense pencils and some Prismas and Polychromos, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Spectrum Noir glitter. Yes, that was a shimmer glitter gel pen, Inktense. Yeah, and White Signo for the outlining of the bubbles. Really love this book. I must work in it quite soon again. And then by the same artist I did a picture from Mermaids in Paradise. And that is this one with the 3 floating mermaids, floating because of the bubbles. And of course they have a lot of glitter on their tail, on the bubbles, some details in their hair. So I'm sorry if my phone is constantly in the neighborhood, but then you get quite a good idea how it looks with some fake light on it. So what was this one? Then I went to the nice little town 6. And oh yes, I almost couldn't remember what I've colored in this one, but now I do. It's a sleeping mouse. I'm going to try and focus again a bit better. So also here for pearlescent paint, stickles for the glitter gel pen, a lot of White Signo, I've used for the sunflower at the top. Any more Prismacolor Derwent Graphite Tint, Stickles, Glitter Gel Pen. Graphite Tint is for the stonework here, I think. I think I just did it in Prismacolor pencils. I'm going to lift up my light again. Oops. These books are so tiny or so small that they flap quite easy out of your hand. Oops. So, okay, that was this one. Refocus. So I worked in a few new books, new on my shelf. I had them for a while, and I've grabbed back to some that I already had for quite some time, but in which I hadn't worked in for quite some time too. So I've chosen this one, and I didn't follow the original picture. I've used Neo 2 acrylic paint, the Erogi-10 pencils, Crayola pencils, and glitter gel pens. The Erogi-10 pencils were on her clothing, the shoes. And I forgot to mention that I've used polychromos on her legs and her face. And the little dog is also Erogi-10 pencils. Can't remember which colors I've used for the umbrella. I think the Crayola ones. I'm sure the Crayolas are for her hair, but I can't remember for the rest. This is all Neo color. This one too, with the little leaves detailed with Erogi-10, and I have used some glitter gel pen. Oh yes, on the umbrella. So, and a bit on her dress, on the bottom, and on her socks. See, she has glittery socks. So that was her. Glad I returned to this book. Then, how is it called in English, this one? Nightfall, I believe, by Maria Trollo. And I did this one. I really want to learn more about flowers and leaves. So Maria's books are very suitable for that. I've used Neo Color 2, that was for the base of the flower, and I've colored it in with polychromos pencils. Acrylic paint, of course, for the splattering. And it seems that I also did a base on the leaves and on the birds, and just added detail with polychromos. So that's all the materials that I've used. And the neighbor page also has some splatters. If I want to work on that one in the future, it's already done. So that was this one. Then I went to a playground, I think it's called, and I did this lady with the horse. I've used markers as a base, but I don't. My memory is just not good enough anymore. I can't remember if I did it on every part of the picture. I have to take a sneak peek. Yes, so it seems on a lot. I've used it on a lot, and I know these are metallic markers. And here I am again with my torch to give some details on the glitter parts. Her earrings, some stuff on her head, the mirror here in the back. And he's quite shimmery too. So this was the first picture in this book. So another one that is worked in. So I'm really lowering my pile of untouched books. Another new book, I got this at the beginning of November during our trip. And it has one finished picture already. These little mice. Derwent graphite tint, polychromos and glitter gel pen. So also very limited materials. And I really like the autumn color that it has. And the mice have some glitter. Not the umbrella, the butterfly also has some glitter. So yeah. And then a book that I had for ages and didn't like very much, but now that I did 2 pictures this month, I'm completely head over heels with it. I love working with water in this one, and so this was the first one I did. The little elf man in his naked butt. It was a lot of fun to work on. And of course also some glitter here on the wings of the fly, or I don't know what it is. On the flowers on the bottom there's some glitter. And on his wings, of course. And on his little protective glasses in front of his eyes. He also has some glitter. He looks quite fancy. Really had a lot of fun with this one. And I did a few pictures in between. And then I've worked on her, but it's easier now to show it straight away. For the most part, for the purple stuff, for the crystals, for the huge mushroom, for her clothing, also for these, I've used the watercolor paints in this tin. The background is, I think, I didn't write it down. I think it's Albrecht Dürer or Intense, I'm not sure anymore. So again, an unusual use of background color instead of blue. With the flying elf it was green, and I really like and pink cloud, so the fantasy element really gets me in this book. So it was really fun to work on this one too. And of course, glitter everywhere. Well, not everywhere, but in many places, as you can see. I'm just addicted to glittery stuff. So that was her. And then one you have seen in a previous video where I tested out my watercolors, and I don't know what else. I think that was it. And then with the bubbly background, she doesn't have, or almost doesn't have, any glittery stuff on her except on her belt and in the pot that she's holding, but not much. I'm really liking how my fox or fox look-alike turned out. And I'm getting the idea. I've used some Derwent drawing pencils and I forgot to write it down. So really love this palette. And at first I wasn't sure if this purplish pink was a good idea for the background, but in the end it's not looking too bad, I think. Oh, and after painting her dress, I just highlighted some parts with a white pencil. I didn't shade anything extra, not with paint or with pencil. I thought it was just okay like it looked now. So that was this one. Then World of Flowers, or Wereld van Bloemen. At the beginning of November I received this copy and I was immediately in love with it. And that's very strange because Flowers and me, or Johanna Basford books and me, were not a match for quite a long time. But now, yeah, I really enjoyed working on this picture. I'm so happy with the vivid colors on the paper. It's Albrecht Dürer for most part. Polychromos for a bit of shading. Glitter gel pens, Kuretake Gansai Tambi gold paint. Yes, that's for the border here. And on the back side, no bleed through, no nothing. Everything looks okay. So I'm going to grab my torch again to let the shimmer do his work. And the fish has some glitter gel pen too. So really love this one. And then last weekend I worked on another one in this book, and that's this one. I've used my watercolors again, and I've created an autumn palette for the background, and I wanted to have a candy-like butterfly, and I think I've succeeded. And I did the butterfly with the most economic watercolor paints that I own, I think. I'm going to grab them so that I can show you. It's this set, bought in China on AliExpress for maybe €8, I think. And I did this butterfly with it, and I was amazed that it worked so well. Of course, I did some extra shading on top, but I forgot to write down what I've used. Not good. I hope I can remember. I think I've used Polychromos pencils. Not sure anymore, but No. I'm lying. No. On purpose, I didn't use my well-known brands like the Prismacolor pencils or the Polychromos. I've used a Chinese cheap pencil called Guanghui or something like that. They're also sold on Amazon. And the shading on all the flowers, the leaves aren't shaded. These are pure watercolor. But all the shading on the butterfly and on the flowers and on some leaves here are the cheap pencils, the Guanghui brand. So very happy with how it turned out. And yeah, it's a bit visible. Here and there are some glittery details, of course. So very happy with how this one turned out too. So love this book. And then almost at the end of my pile we have the jewelry box, or juwelenkistje, the Dutch translation with a super thick. No, I have 2 pages, but it's super thick paper. And it was ages ago that I've colored in a face from Hannah Carlson. So I did 2 at a time. And their skin is done with Prismacolor pencils. The background is, I believe, and I forgot to write it down too, what's wrong with my memory, Neocolors 2. A bunch of colors, and their clothing, their hair is Inktense. I'm really happy with how they both turned out. And of course they have some glitter too on their dress, on the jewelries or the jewels that they are wearing. So yeah, it was nice to work on a Hannah Carlson picture again. And the last one is also not one that you haven't seen already, because she was in a previous video showing which glitter stuff that I use on my pages. So, and now she's completely finished. Here she is. I've used the watercolor paints again on the background and on her dress, and I really like the stain look that it has. I haven't shaded on purpose, just to keep it as raw as it is. I really like that effect. You can see her glittery toenails already. And I bordered her wings with white Signo. And here we have again all the glitter. And I also have used some Spectrum Noir glitter on the tree, so that it looked a bit of frozen. That she really is sitting in a cold area, and that yeah. And I don't know if it's very noticeable, but I used a combo of green and pink for her skin tone. Really like the softness of that, and I love how I did her hair. So she was a very nice one to finish my month. And if you like, I would like to show you, or I can show you, I'm going to grab it like this. This is my work in progress, but I'm not sure if it will be finished in November, since tomorrow is the 30th already, and I had a large trip today. As you can see, I bled through, but that's not a problem because I wasn't planning on coloring this fellow, and if I am, or if I want to, I can paint it black, or maybe he's in another book, because these books, they are bought in a discount shop here in Belgium called Action. I have, I think, 6 or 7 of those, of this brand, and some pictures return in other books, so it's definitely not a problem. And I'm working on Jeremy Cricket. I did, what did I use for the background? Albrecht Dürer pencils. And so I stamped some snowflakes. I stamped this cute guy hanging in reverse. And I already did some splattering, but it's not, the camera isn't picking it up very good. Now it's a bit more visible. So it's snowy, it's wintry. I wanted to give it a wintry look. And again, quite a non-standard background. Just used Caput Mortuum Violet. No, not Violet, Caput Mortuum. A warm grey, a dark warm grey, and the blue is, I think, just indigo. So, and I have to decide in which colors that I will color him. Maybe in some Christmas colors, meaning green and red. Maybe a touch of brown, I'm not sure yet, so that will be something for later on. But I'm really happy with this background already, and although these books are so cheap, not even €2, the picture, the paper is thin, but you can't see through. You only see through because I lift the page and there's light coming in from here. But if you lay it down, it's quite a nice quality, and it takes water really well. But since I've used an water-resistant ink, I think, that caused the bleed through to this page. But otherwise, then the Albrecht Dürers didn't go through. Oops, here's Ariel. So this is my work in progress. I will continue with him later on. So that was it for this month. I hope you enjoyed my new colorings, and I don't know how much I will be doing the next month because I'm away on a short trip again soon, so the amount of finished pictures will be a bit lower than usual, but as long as we color and we love it, then there's no problem. Of course, I will miss it during my trip, but I will try to hunt down some new stuff, maybe a new book, maybe some paints, I don't know, as a souvenir. And yeah, it's a nice reminder to bring something from your trip and work with it afterwards. So okay, thank you very much for watching. We'll talk soon. Bye bye.